All right. Hey guys, I wanted to come on and I'm just going to do a little chit chat as I kind of just get ready for the day. I'm just going to be home cleaning and stuff today, so not doing anything fancy. Yesterday was gone all afternoon. We had a funeral to go to. And those are always sad. So yesterday was, ugh. Anyway, I wanted to just talk a little bit about all of the deflection that's going on right now and all of the attempts to get people to stay in the program, the Matrix program, stay whatever, asleep, stay brainwashed, stay manipulated, and the program's really running at full speed right now. Like, if you'll notice, everywhere you go, there's all these podcasters and YouTubers and all of these people trying so hard to keep people in the program, the fake program, the false program. And a lot of these people seem likable and put out some good, interesting information, which is what lures you in, right? This is how it operates. And I don't know if the people themselves are knowingly participating or if they're just doing it because they've bought it, like they've bought into it, and therefore they're promoting it and pushing it, okay? So yesterday, I watched a video about CERN. And it was actually really, really interesting. So what the guy did was the guy put forth a lot of the conspiracies about CERN, and then he tried to debunk them. And you know what his source of information was? CERN. So conspiracies can't be real because CERN says they're not. Okay. Now, do I believe in every conspiracy out there? No. But when I connect the dots, do my own research, and think critically for myself, and pay attention, and look at what's been going on for the last 40 years, see how it all weaves together, you start to follow the money trail, and you start to look at who funds who, you start to look at who has contracts with who and for what, and where is this actually coming from, you really start to see the bigger picture, okay? So it's not difficult to see. It just takes effort and time to be able to weave it all together by going back and connecting all of the dots, okay? Now, I mean, the trickery and the deception on this planet is just mind-blowing. And they have done a really, really good job at hoodwinking the population. And the average person does not have a clue what is going on. Not a clue. And if you don't understand the transhuman agenda, which is the artificial intelligence, digital reality, Neuralink, rewriting, deleting, editing human DNA, okay? If you don't understand that, and you don't see that, that's not debatable. That's happening. They're talking about it publicly. Like, that's happening, okay? Peptides, stem cells, all that stuff. Okay. This has all been quietly happening as they've been hurting people. And then the last 5 years have been much quicker. They've been, pushing it a lot faster. And a lot of people just don't see it. And if you look at how all of these places like CERN and NASA and, Silicon Valley, if you look at how fast they've been ramping up their stuff, all at the same time, isn't that a coincidence? Isn't that a coincidence? All in the past 5 years. That's a coincidence, right? No, it's not a coincidence. It's because they're all part of the same agenda. They're not separate entities. They're just different branches of the same tree. Okay, so we live in a mad world, being controlled by mad, crazy people. And humans have been manipulated and deceived. And it really isn't going well for the majority of people on the planet. And people have just accepted their servitude and have accepted their lot in life. I guess that's the way you can look at it. And so the majority of people don't even question, why is it this way? How did it get this way? Why do we have to get up every day and go to jobs that are stupid? Like, because so many jobs are stupid. Like making plastic beads for Mardi Gras? Like, really? Okay? Like, for what? We have to pay to live? Like, we have to pay to live. Why don't we live in communities where everybody just exists and lives together? Everyone provides for everyone because that's what a human family would do. Why don't we live that way? How did we get away from that? How did we get away from that? Like, when you look at like how a wolf clan survives, right? The wolves all work together. We really have drifted very, very, very far away from what we're capable of and what our potential is. And the lies that fuel this narrative are just grotesque. I do think more people are seeing it. More people are, starting to really awaken within them. Because remember, the outside awakening doesn't mean anything. You can know all this stuff, but if you're not awakened from within, it's useless, pointless. So needless to say, I watched that video and I just, when I say laugh, I don't mean like funny laugh, because it's not funny. It's just rolling my eyes and laughing at the manipulation and how they're really trying to keep people from seeing the nefarious stuff that's going on. Like, wow. And someone might say, well, how do you know what's going on at CERN? Have you ever been there? I don't need to. Because all you need to do is see where they get their money from, who they're connected to, and, what club they belong to, and who are the people behind it. It's all you need to know. That is all you need to know. Okay? And of course, they have that statue of the goddess of destruction, right? As their logo, right? They're crazy people. Now, the people that work there are probably clueless, because that's just the way it goes. Same people that work for Big Pharma, they're just clueless. They're clueless what the agenda is. And they all work in cubicles, and they don't have connection with each other. I talked about this in a video, this was like a couple years ago, that I had a great conversation with a geneticist. It's a great conversation. And he was saying how they are isolated from people doing other work. you do your work and you are like basically in your own little world doing your isolated work. It's not the bigger picture. They don't see the bigger picture. They don't come together. They don't come together and discuss, and they don't come together to talk and question, and they don't. That doesn't happen. So they're all working in their own independent little realities. And unfortunately, what they're discovering is going into the beast system, and then they're using that information to do their CRISPR technology, artificial intelligence, merging humans with the machine, the whole transhuman thing. Yeah. This guy was really, really smart though. And even though I said a few things to him that he kind of was like, but he had an inkling. He had an inkling. And he was starting to really question some things. And it was an interesting conversation, needless to say. We actually talked for a few hours, and it really was just a mind-blowing conversation. And everything he said validated everything that I knew about that world. And I talked to him about a few things too that really got him like, yeah, I can see that. Like I think deep down when you're in something so deep, because here he is, he's got his PhD in genetics, right? You're in so deep, and this is like your livelihood. Nobody really wants to admit that what they're doing is not serving humanity. It may in some ways. I don't mean to say that, like, that information might help somebody somewhere, but the brunt of what you're doing is going towards the transhuman agenda. That's just the reality of it, through all of this genetic manipulation. And some people are cool with it. They don't mind being merged with the machine. They don't mind the possibility of having their consciousness erased. Like, they don't care. They just don't care. And hey, more power to you. That's the way you want to go for it. But this is where we're at. And I don't follow Chris Williamson. He's a podcaster. I've listened to a couple of his podcasts before. He seems like a nice guy, but again, what do we know, right? They're all really actors and actresses, but he could be a decent guy, just on a wonky path. I don't know. And right now he's currently dealing with, Lyme and mold exposure or whatever. I don't really know what he's suffering from, but I guess he's going through a lot of health issues, and he's big into biohacking. And again, I've told you guys a million times, the whole biohacking world is leading people down the transhuman path. And I don't understand how people don't see this. I really don't. Like, now peptides and stem cells, and these are all part of the CRISPR technology transhuman agenda. It's not hard to see. And all the other stuff that's going to come along with it. Pretty soon, they're going to have them they're going to have the computer operating system right inside your body, Neuralink inside your brain. Okay, this is it. And digital ID is just the first little step in this direction. It'll be on your phone at first, and then it will be directly implanted into your body. This is where we're at. Really, it doesn't get any more fucked up than this. Well, no, I don't think it can. The takeover of humanity. Because remember, they need your avatar. They need your body. Because these forces don't have bodies. They need us. Because invasion of the body snatchers is real. It's real, all right? Or the concept is real. Yeah. So we live in very interesting times. And what I wanted to say about Chris Williamson is that I'm not really following him, but I will probably likely eventually hear about it to see where he goes with this and what his experience will be and what he will be putting out there to the public. And I can almost guarantee you that it is going to be something quite dark. I can feel it. I can feel that this is where it's going to go, is that there was some kind of peptide or stem cell or something that is going to help him. And then this is going to be something that he will promote. That is what I foresee. Maybe I am wrong. I would love to be wrong. I would love to be wrong. And I would love for him to not be part of that. But it looks like this might be where it's going. And I've talked about like Paul Saladino before too. You know, Paul Saladino is pushing the whole peptides and stem cells too, and regenerative medicine. And regenerative medicine is one step away from the transhuman agenda at this time. And that is where it is going. It's where it's leading. This is the path. Okay? This is how they get people in. And again, I don't think Paul is dumb. You know, he went to med school. He's not stupid. He doesn't have a low IQ, even though IQ is meaningless. Honestly, I would probably flunk an IQ test because, I don't know, some of the questions are just dumb. Like, because I don't pay attention. I don't pay attention to anything that doesn't directly affect my life anymore. I just don't. It's just me. So, I don't know. I wonder how valuable those tests are. You can be extremely intelligent in some areas. I always tell people, it's like, so what if I don't have a high IQ? I kept my kids away from doctors. My kids have never gone to a doctor for a health reason, ever in their life. While I was raising them. Never. Never. Because I figured it all out myself. I never needed doctors. So I don't think my IQ is all that low. But yet, I really don't think I would do well on an IQ test. So, who cares? Well, anyway. Let's just say overall intelligence, okay? A lot of these people are not dumb, okay? And they're pushing a lot of this stuff. And these are people that have done a lot of research in a lot of the things that they talk about, but what, they haven't done a lot of research on this particular topic? Why not? So this is when things start to get really, really grindy, and it's really important to not follow others, no matter what. Like, don't even follow me. Like, don't think, oh, she said this. No, you have to feel it from the depths of your being. Like, wow, yeah, like, you know, like you have to have it register really deeply within you. It's not about what anyone says or what anyone does. This is about you. And you anchoring with what you know at the depths of your being is the right thing to do. Do I want to surrender my sovereignty to authorities that are criminals? They've never done anything right. Look at this planet. Look at this planet and look at what these criminals spend their money on. It's more important to pump billions of dollars into NASA and CERN, but yet we have poverty, starvation, we have, lack all over the planet because of greedy people that hoard resources. Are these the people that you want controlling your life? Are you serious? But apparently, some people think that that's okay. My husband was listening to something yesterday, and they were asking people if you could start a world, a reality, a world, whatever, and you could have two influential people to give you guidance on how to kind of create that world in like what image. And the girl's answer was Madeleine Albright and Obama. And I just I can't, honestly, that is being a zombie at a level that I just cannot relate to, on any level. In the year 2025, even though it's not the real year, I know that, but that's what we go by. In the year 2025, for anybody to think that these people are authentic, honest, and good is fucking mind-blowing. And if you actually think that their rhetoric means anything, and honestly, how can you even listen to the stuff they say and be aligned with that? That's what blows me away the most. Like, how do you even align with that? Like, what? It's crazy. It's crazy. We live in a crazy, crazy world. And I think what happens is people realize that what we have isn't working, right? You have people say all these fluffy things that seem like this is going to be better. It's going to be better for humans. But the control is still in the hands of the government and these authorities, right? This is the issue, and this is what people don't see. Because the more safety and things that they promise you, the more of a slave you become. This is what people just don't get. It's just crazy. We live in a crazy world. So I guess I just wanted to come on and I just wanted to remind you guys that we are really going into the depths now. And more is going to start to be kicked up, okay? So don't get distracted and don't get caught up in all of the distractions and the deceptions, because it's starting to become amplified. And it's really important to just keep going within, because it's the only place you're going to find any sanity, okay? Signing out.